producto de superestructura en la sociedad, pero al mismo tiempo es un producto de base. Es decir, que la obra de arte tiene para el organismo social un papel semejante a la sangre. Si el arte es una actividad esencial para la vida del hombre, ¿cuál es el papel del artista? El papel del artista en la sociedad es un papel de nutridor, de proporcionador de alimento. Así como el campesino proporciona alimento para el aparato digestivo, el artista proporciona alimento para el sistema nervioso. En consecuencia, el artista es un humilde obrero y su humildad le da la misma grandeza que al campesino, que al floricultor, que al químico, que al médico. Es un obrero esencial en el organismo social.
I think the ultimate goal for an artist is to find an identity. And I think the best way to find an identity is to search what culture they belong to, who they are, where they come from. Ultimately, if they have these international experiences, to be able to look at another culture and to have another culture look at my culture, it allows me to be self-reflective, and that self-reflection leads to a deeper understanding of myself and my culture and my art, and I think that is what we want our students to be able to do. My goal as president from last year has been to provide these kinds of opportunities. Everything starts from a story, and then we find different ways to express that story. The human being has the ability to create, or even reproduce or produce. I think this desire to create, when we start telling stories, we started to be a creative animal. May not be conscious of it, but the shamanistic tradition, I think, is being passed down through our DNA. And that will be a unique characteristic of Korean people in their arts. Well, I think shamanistic rituals are art. It involves dancing and singing and chanting, telling stories, and all of those elements are very artistic. And I think the shamans in the past, whatever they tried to convey was probably planned, designed, directed to influence the person that is watching. And I think the choices that they made were very artistic.
I have realized that it is not I who have chosen this craft. It is the craft who has chosen me. When I was in my student life, in college, there was an accident happened. And during that time period, I was thinking about so many things. What should I do after my graduation? But by the time I met Miss Beena Jawad, and she has given me this experience of learning this dance form, and then I liked it so much. Katha means story, and Kathak, the art of storytelling. It's basically when I want to describe a story, you can describe this story with your body language without speaking even a single word. So the classical dance has 9 different genres of dance. So Kathak is one of them. So Kathak has this like you stand like your hands in front of your chest, the movement of hands like this. So you need to learn the discipline of Kathak, and after that you need to learn the basic alphabets of the particular language, and after that you make words and then small sentences, and then you make small paragraphs and then essays and then creative writing. So it's the first foundation course. You learn about how to stand, how to walk, there are different kind of mudras, how to explain your story. So with a certain time period, you educate enough to improvise it. Has 3 icons.
Right the pearl. Stretch solid. Smile. Next back pearl. Break the pearl. Tip of the sacrum behind. Reach, stretch the solid. And point. Smile. I have a motivation in my body to unravel trauma that happened from a 2-year-old child. My father was stationed in the US Navy in Yokohama, Japan. My mother was driving down the street in Yokohama, and a man on the bicycle stopped quickly in front of her car. And I flew from the back seat through the windshield. And the man on the bicycle laughed and rode away on his bicycle. And this first encounter is, I think, a very significant moment because it gave me a seed for transformation. Well, the first question I always ask my students is, where in the body does the soul originate? My experience has a lot to do with discovering the soul body from the perspective of what Chinese doctors talk about. And there is a point in the body called the perineum. And so when they begin to move, if the first movement is, of course, the breath, and then the breath initiating the movement of that chi, ki, prana that begins in the perineum, and they start to move that energy through their body as the beginning point of every movement. When you reach a point of exhaustion, your breath changes. And the breath changes in such a way that endorphins are released and you are not thinking. So you're achieving this non-thinking state. And once you open that part of your brain, and that opens a particular kind of cathartic kind of movement. And I was saying to the students that I don't want them to just go out and show off. I want them to really try to connect to an image when they're moving and allow that image to inform all their favorite movements.
My motivation to come in dance, I got from my father. He's my master, and this is my family tradition. It's called Mayurbhanj Chhau dance from Odisha, eastern part of India. Dance is which I can see discipline. When you practice more, year by year, that make you professional.
My journey started when I was 5. I was 5 years old, and I was initiated into the arts by my parents. I fell in love with the art form. It was just passion. I really loved it. And as it grew and as I grew, I couldn't imagine my life without dance. The love for this art form has been forever.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stepping. So the dance form which I am doing is called Mayurbhanj Chhau. This is a very old traditional martial dance form, which is a very ancient form of India. This art only was happened only in the king court time. So in their courtyard, the dance will happen in front of the king. But later, after, like the masters, he spoke to them. He said, you have to take this art to the world after the kingdom is over. And this dance contains many kind of example which is derived from nature, animals, birds, all our geographical conditions. So many things is like we have an example. You can see the normal social behavior of a human beings and subhuman species.
I am a practitioner of Bharatanatyam, which comes from southern India, Tamil Nadu. And Bharatanatyam, the word, it's one of the classical dances of India. So it's one of the oldest classical dances of India. Bha means bhava, expressions. Ra means raga, which is singing. And ta means tal. Tal means rhythm. So Bharata, Natyam. Natyam means dance. So the dance is a combination of expressions, bhava, music, raga, and tala, rhythm. So the word itself means so much.
I'm proud. I'm just a mountain man, but I'm proud of myself being a Kalinga. Our everyday life, we are connected not only in the spirits, but the earth, the environment. Being a mountain man in Kalinga is you have to deal with this. And I make my instruments to show this and to give learning to the music students in the College of Music.
I am a Marana traditional musician. I played 5 Marana musical ensemble, the Kulintang, the Agong, the Bakan, and the Babender. As a cultural lover, I found out that the music is life. Because I believe that we cannot exist in this world without the music.
I grew up and trained to become a theater artist, a theater director, and a musical director when I was from the age of 15 up till about 40 years old, where I worked in a very important theater company, PETA, or the Philippine Educational Theater Association. So in PETA, we dreamt always of a theater movement that will reflect the life, the culture, the struggles of our country. At the same time, we are also engaged in developing the arts or theater to help promote the sustainable development goals. But in a more local sense, because of what has been affecting our province, we did a lot of arts for therapy, arts for rehabilitation, arts for well-being. And I think the arts, our theater, is a beautiful, important platform for that.
Music is always in our hearts, in our rituals, in our ceremonies. Kalinga music is important to us because, well, our music is different from others. There is only one musical piece that is being played in that community, which is their own musical piece. Even that one musical piece is being played all around until tomorrow, it is not changed. So this musical piece is imbibed in their body.
every time we are moving from an image. It's not just imitate a movement. It can be the same movement, but you can pay attention. Is it coming from the gravity, or am I just using my muscle? Am I just trying to show off my abilities? Gravity, therefore, is connected to energy when you concentrate on the perineum, because that is the origin of the soul body. And I think that when the focus is that, there is a shared healing that goes on. There is the ingredients for shared between the performers and the audience. Christian, are you seeing?
Well, you went quite far above.
I did. So I probably don't have to. I can probably just go here.
There is a lot of challenges to us. How you contain this art form to the modern world. So you have to relate to the modern world. How it goes with you simultaneously, parallel, traditional, parallel, modern. It always be together.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again.
For me, it is very important to take my art forward. And I do feel there the traditions are extremely important because there's a discipline, there's a learning, there's an understanding where it starts. From there, they can create more. I think education and art together go hand in hand. This helps in keeping the tradition. It also helps in being a very confident human being and taking the generation forward that way, whether it is modernity, whether it is tradition.
Use the body more. Very good. Body small. Good. All right. Slowly. 1, 2, 3.
We are also learning, they're also learning, and it's a giving and sharing your culture. So it's quite a beautiful experience right now going on, and we are trying to showcase our art form and their art form, the differences and the similarities.
Art is always connected. There is no way that art is not connected. You do not need to have the same language. And I think the process has been great because it's a beginning. Nothing can just happen suddenly. But to bring it in your work and to connect with others, that's where the work is actually. Right now we're trying to share our art with the students and also understanding what their work is about. But I know that if we all have to connect somewhere, we have to make this a process of it happening. And it can, because it's something that oneness has to be worked on.
There is number there. One for one person. Gangsa especially is symbolic to us because it's kind of sacred that every happenings or occasions there is our gangsa. Playing the ensemble in our place, right? The gangsa, it should be played by the community because the representation of each gang has a meaning on that musical piece.
Kinds of music in the Kulintang, sometimes we played the title Kaprumayas, which is, we talks about our place in Lanao del Sur. The Kaprumayas music is, it talks about the great musicians is here. Because it's somewhat like Kulintang speaks about the people.
I personally believe in the strength and the power of the arts to heal, to restore, and to transform. Way back, our ancestors believed in the power of the spiritual world. And when it comes to that, the connection of the spirit and the humanity is so important, because this connection is really brings out the meaning of life, that we are not just earth, that we are not just doing things for material purposes. We are here to sustain the power of the spirit, to restore, to heal, to cure, to rehabilitate.
In our culture, dance we call it cosmic. When we start, we have to pray to the God, Lord, and we start to connect with this energy. And yes, it's invisible, but you can feel what we are going to do on stage. It's all related to the God.
There is a spiritual journey. And it's not, you may not be religious, but you can be very, very spiritual. We are depicting gods. We are saying we are one with the soul of the God. You're not Priya anymore on stage. You're trying to connect. And that is what is visible in your dancing.
I certainly realize that my soul is connected with the movement actually. This craft needs me, and there is some kind of spiritual energy which is connecting me through this. It is about how to connect this movement with my own soul, which can connect other people with me.
New technologies will always be there to maybe find richer ways of expression. I think what they don't possess is the spirit. They say that they are creative, but creativity relies upon the data that they can access. What they cannot access is the soul and the spirit.
You have to find the soul, right? Spirit, soul, not techniques. maybe this couple of years, all these techniques will go on. If you make a good art piece, then it can be like a godlike ingredient, spirit, soul has to be in it.
We are all different nations, all use different languages. Creating a culture is creating a human being, life.
What we want them to do in this setting is for them to get to know each other, learn about each other's culture, and learn about the arts of their culture. And this process of sharing will lead to collaborating, and the collaborations, we hope, will lead to explorations and experimentations to find new ways for artistic expression.
How to make this mix with all different these traditions, together. That's what we try to do, this laboratories, global laboratories, so the world become a one. East and West become a one. So this is the chance to really my dreams.
The arts can also work in the laboratory process that allows for experimentation, exploration.
And then behind, teacher has to, through the experience you and student shares, they can learn.
I found this group's performance is more like they have really thought about it. They were really talking about it conceptually and movement.
I've been experienced a lot because I am a Marana. Like, for example, we Filipinos came here. We have a different ethnicity, have a different places in the Philippines. So I've experienced a lot, like the adjustment, understanding the culture of the people, and especially the Koreans people.
This one helps the art development,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
happiness, and you
And
are
the young ones.
nothing imposed on what you want to do.
it's an opportunity to play with people, not only the Koreans, even my partner from Philippines. I have collaborated with them, and this is an opportunity so that I can show also my talent with them and be with them and speak with them through music.
And look and behold what we have here in Seoul, in this institute. It's really an exemplar in developing a cultural venue for development. So when they ask me, what models, what examples in the world can you show us so that when we plan and develop something, we have some pegs, we have some ideas of how we can do it? I said the Seoul Institute of the Arts. Because here, it's how the fusion of nature, the environment, landscape and bright minds bringing together the best of training, this is the model. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to the Seoul Institute of the Arts for giving us this opportunity for exchange and collaboration.
And I try to spread this craft in my country. So if there are not so many dancers in future, but I hope there are so many good persons who can be audience of this dance form. Sometimes you just focus on one thing, that you want more people into dance. But if there is no audience of that particular dance, what the purpose of becoming a dancer if you cannot showcase anything to anyone, if there is not audience? So either ways, they become a dancer or become an audience, they will become a good soul eventually.
I think the most important thing is this idea that the greatest work of art we can create is our own life. But so often we get far away from our own internal essence and our own internal nature. And just to wake up and say, hey, if I get off that train where I'm really going toward my transformation and my essence, it's okay, I got off it for a while, but how can I get back to it? And be honest with yourself about that. And then I think that you'll find more joy in your life. And I think we're here to be happy and to experience joy. And that's what I see around me here, is joy. And I think it's a very, very special place. And I'm very grateful to be here and to have been invited here for this artist residency. So I want to say thank you.
The good thing is that there is a vision. Both have a very similar vision, and that is a huge support. So I would say it's a blessing and a support to have your partner in the same journey as you. And I'm happy that I've found a partner who has similar ideas, who has similar values, who has the similar passion for what we love to do and for our work.
So like suppose the two colors, one is blue, one is red. When you gel it together, you can see the color is going to be the new generation, new color. When it combines, it comes something new. When you portray, so we portray in that way, people can understand togetherness.
We believe that the world is getting smaller, and we believe that we have to provide opportunities and experiences for our students on the international level, and introducing them to traditional arts of the world is very important at this time. There are schools that want to preserve the traditions by constantly passing down the traditions as they were and not changing them. But in the soul arts philosophy, we want to find new ways of expression. And we do that in several ways. I think we do that with the interdisciplinary work, crossing over different boundaries between different genres of art. So not just Korean arts or Korean traditional arts, but seeing how the Korean traditional arts and arts from around the world, the traditions of the world, can collaborate, and through that finding new ways of expression. Teaching culture from a textbook is different from teaching culture through experience. And the experience of meeting a foreigner, someone that's not from your culture, and learning about them, and then talking with them, asking them questions, but also receiving questions, is a self-reflective process that leads to discovery and I guess a deeper understanding of oneself.